Hello guys, welcome back to the video on the status forecast weather channel. In today's video, we'll be going over a potential snowstorm that will be happening in the Texas area. That will also spread over Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and eventually North Carolina and potentially the mid-coast, or not the mid-coast, but the mid-Atlantic. We'll also be talking about the devastating fires in San Diego, California. It's been a disaster. I've seen so many videos online. It's been a complete disaster. With the 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, with really dry conditions leading to widespread wildfires, it's just devastating to see. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. But first, I just want to get into the radar and satellite. Currently, we're dealing with some snow showers across the northeast that extends down into the lower Ohio Valley and into the Carolinas, and potential western Virginia and Kentucky. Rain, snow, and mix all happening in the upper plains near Montana and North Dakota and Wyoming and even parts of South Dakota, and that will be stretching up into the Canada region. And then more rain and snow, sleet showers and snow showers happening across the south, portions of far western Texas. And what's going to be happening is we're going to be watching basically low pressure system that develops like right over here or something, and basically has cold air coming from the backside. Obviously, you have cold air to create that snow. We got Gulf of Mexico moisture coming in the middle, and then we've got also moisture coming out of the Mexico area, and you'll see that with that cloud cover in a minute. And this is all going to reach up for a potentially historic snowstorm. So let's take a look at the satellite too. So basically, all this cloud cover is coming in from the next incoming storm, and it's all going to be, I don't know if you can't really see it because it's cut off, but you basically can see all the time there's going to be basically a stream of moisture coming in here, and it'll also be coming from portions of the Gulf of Mexico as well. With all that being said, you're going to see it line up for a huge storm that basically impacts Oklahoma through Arkansas, Tennessee, through Kentucky, all the way up through West Virginia. It's basically going to be that big amount of old snow that into places that don't usually see it. Next, I really want to, just before we get into that, I really want to discuss the wildfire situation in San Diego. We're dealing with just really bad situations going on. Really bad situations. I don't know what to say, honestly. San Diego is under so much pressure, and you're going to see that. Hold on. As you can see here, we have a whole bunch of weather advisories and warnings. We have a high wind warning for, like, I don't even know, 60 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts later this afternoon. This is just going to lead to more wildfires across this area. I've seen multiple videos. Matter of fact, I think I'll put a video up on the screen that you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but this is a picture from San Diego. It's just devastating. I'll also put a video up. I don't know where it's going to be from, but I'll put a video up. We have air quality alerts. This is just from obviously all those wildfires. Wind advisory up here for wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. This is just unfortunately going to lead to more devastating wildfires. And we'll actually take a look at the wildfire forecast in a minute. But alright, back into the video. I'm going to take a look at the future. We're actually going to take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories. So here's the watches, warnings, and advisories. Again, main focus of today is going to be the deep south portions of Arkansas, Kansas, Tennessee, into Louisiana and Mississippi, all the way back through portions of northern Alabama and Georgia. This extends all the way into North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, all the way back into Missouri, Illinois, and then obviously we have all these watches and warnings across portions of the California area. These just range from red flag warnings all the way to high wind warnings and high wind watches, as well as high wind advisories. Not high wind advisories, but wind advisories. Winter weather advisories up in the northeast, along with wind advisories. Wind advisories and winter storm watches across the upper plains. High wind warnings in effect for portions of, I don't even know what state that is, but it's close to Nevada, that's all I know. South Dakota getting on some wind advisories. Alright, now we're going to get into your future radar. Alright, so unfortunately, I don't have much good news for the people in San Diego area. You're just going to be dealing with mostly dry conditions. This is just going to lead to more wildfires, but I want to get into the potential, well, not even potential, a snowstorm coming in the Texas area. I want to zoom in on this, okay? This is going to lead to a historic snowstorm, okay? So we're going to go to the HRRR model since I think we have enough data to go through. Here we go. This is going for later tonight. Here comes the snow, here comes the sleet, And I really think most of the models are agreeing with a snow line that comes even down into portions of Louisiana rather than just sleet and freezing rain. That continues going through. Probably a squall line just offshore, but that's not going to affect much portions of Texas and Louisiana and Mississippi, so it's going to stay offshore, so there won't be much of the severe weather threat out of that. But we still can't rule out a nice severe storm, right? That continues on. Now we're just going to look at your GFS model, and we'll also take a look at the European model to see what those have in mind. Alright, so this is going through tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, into evening, and overnight into Friday. You see, like I said, moisture picking up in the Gulf of Mexico, cold air coming down from the north, stream of moisture coming in from the west of Mexico. This is all going to lead to a big winter storm. Now, what I've seen over the last 24 hours is the snow line could actually push as far south is in the far northern Mississippi, Louisiana, and stretching into portions of Georgia and Alabama. I don't think this will lead to a whole lot of snow accumulation, but I think the freezing rain could be a big deal. And that continues to move offshore opposite the Atlantic. Let's see what the European model does with this. The European model, I think, might go a little bit farther south with it, to be honest. Let's see what it does with this. Or maybe not. So, there could be a lot of freezing rain with this, honestly. That might be a big picture to this, but obviously some heavy snowfall. This is by Friday, I think it's, let me see, I think it's Friday afternoon, right? Friday afternoon. Snow falling heavy at times in far northern Mississippi. Freezing rain line around the central Alabama area. Central, around the Arkansas and Louisiana border. And then that snow continues to move up, and this turns into a much weaker system. I don't think the Northeast is going to be seeing much out of this, other than maybe a few late snow showers off the coastline as this goes. I really want to take a focus on the potential for freezing rain. The freezing rain could be on the higher side of things. So let me pull out freezing rain here. Here we go. The freezing rain could be extensive, okay? We could be talking about up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Now, obviously, this is a GFS model. I can't really get a reading with the European model because I have to subscribe to this thing, but upwards of an inch of ice in portions of central, eastern Texas. Ice accumulation could extend up into far portions, into southern parts of Arkansas, and then ice accumulation could ramp up again across portions of the Appalachian Mountains and the northern Alabama, northern Georgia, northern North Carolina, and South Carolina, and through central Carolina. Now your snowfall accumulations, obviously. Here we go. This is the criteria, so the more accurate reading of things. I'm going to be talking about anywhere from a dusting to potentially up to 10 inches of snow. I don't think we're going to get quite there, but I think most of the snow is going to happen. Yeah, I think it's going to happen right in this area where we get the heaviest snow bands. Right in central southern Arkansas into far northern Louisiana. Not Louisiana, but Mississippi. That extends up into the Appalachian Mountains, and that's what that looks like. Your European model, let's see what it does with it. Here's a look at the snowfall. Anywhere from a widespread coating, or right around, I'd call it like 3 inches all the way to around 12 inches of snow. I really think the jackpot is going to be sent right in these 4 states, like we see in the severe weather threat as well. Southeastern Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana, northwestern Mississippi, and into northern Alabama. So there's that. Like I said, I think the heaviest snowfall is going to fall in the 4-state corner here, like we've seen with the severe weather threat the last couple of times. I think that there's going to be a good area of around 5 to 10 inches of snow, I think is fair to say. Maybe some isolated spots between 10 and 13 inches, but I think that's the primary job right there. So, yeah, a lot on board. Alright, now getting into the wildfires. There's not much you can do about the wildfires. So, here you go. I'm going to zoom this in to portions of... We're lucky we even have this on the ARRR model. Look at this, continuous. Throughout the day on Wednesday, that wind switches directions, continues on. I think it's going to be right along the coastline. You see really bad smoke out of those wildfires, and I think it's going to continue. I also want to take a look at the wind gusts. Hold on. So here's the wind gust through this afternoon and overnight. Winds could gust between 25 and 40 miles per hour in some spots, even close to 50 miles per hour in some spots. But tomorrow could be a little bit of a different story. Obviously, things could calm down a little bit. Ramp up in the afternoon again. Actually, I want to go to the ARRR model. So, I think in the higher elevations where you see the gustiest winds, potential wind gusts between 65 and 70 miles per hour in the higher elevations. This will continue through tomorrow. And this, unfortunately, will only lead to more wildfire activity, honestly. I want to take a look at one more thing, the temperatures. So, I kind of like this, I didn't know about this whole thing beforehand, but I want to look at it now. So, let's go through about where the precipitation comes through. So it really starts up. So I want to get to about this time frame right here. And I want to look at the temperatures, okay? So when we're around this time frame, let me get here. So this is a hard thing to predict, okay? Alright, so basically what I wanted to say is, this temperature is going to be hovering right around between 30 and 40 degrees for most of these states when the snow comes through. So it might just be falling down in some sleet and freezing rain for most spots. So I think some of that snow accumulation could be on the lower side of things, because I think we're going to see a lot of snow, sleet, and freezing rain accumulation out of this. Because these temperatures have a really hard time sticking around that, and it's hard to get it down in the south. But these temperatures are going to really have a hard time fighting the cold. The warm air with that Gulf of Mexico stream of moisture is really going to impact this storm. It's going to drag in those warmer temperatures offshore, onshore, and it's going to be really a cold rain for the southern half of all this storm, and it's going to be a really mild snow for a lot of places, because these temperatures are going to have a hard time fighting between cold and warm air masses, since they're going to be so close together. So with that being said, I think it'll be a large, even when you see the precipitation type around you as snow, it could be falling as sleet and freezing rain at the same time. I don't think all of it's going to be snow. I think a lot of this could be sleet and freezing rain as well. So I tend to not agree with some of the meteorologists out there saying this is going to be mostly snowstorm. And I think this could be a big sleet maker as well. I agree with AccuWeather, because when you get temperatures right on this temperature and you're down in the deep south, you have warm air is always fighting the cold air down in the south. You basically never get cold air as cold as this down there. So it's going to, and most of the snow could be falling overnight, where the temperature is just hovering around that freezing mark. So I think a lot of it's going to be sleet and freezing rain. But obviously you could see a few additional inches of snow. I think it's fair to say in some spots you could see as much as 5 to 10 inches. In other spots you could see as little as coating to an inch of snow. I think it's really going to matter where you are. So I think sleet and freezing rain could be a big issue. Alright, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Stay safe out there if you're in San Diego and the California area, especially in the southwestern part of the state, where wildfires will continue with that gusty winds, those gusty winds. But also prepare for a major snowstorm in portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, and even up into Virginia. You could be dealing with a big freezing rain and sleet maker here. This could lead to a lot of power outages, potentially even widespread power outages, because of the immense amount of freezing rain and sleet you guys are about to have. I don't think this is going to fall as mostly snow, to be honest with you. It's going to be really hard to fight those temperatures down there. So with temperatures between 30 and 35 degrees, it's going to be a really hard time getting all snow down there. It's going to be a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, but I think a lot of it could be sleet and freezing rain. So not necessarily do I agree with your readings of like over a foot of snow. I think this could be mostly a sleet and freezing rain maker, with some snow in there as well. I think some places could reach a lot of snow out of this, but I think time will tell. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 50 subscribers at some point. But yeah, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.